Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Get a load of this. Texas Roadhouse is in some deep trouble following unverified social media claims alleging that employees were part of a large private Facebook group where members discuss mistreating black customers. There's a white guy who has a lot to say about what they said, but before I play what he said, let's go over what they said. It's a white and proud group on Facebook. To all you blacks in here, keep this in mind. Hope you enjoy your meal next time you eat out. There's a Facebook group that I am part of, and it is for white servers. We have come up with a plan. When a table of black diners come in and place their orders, we walk back to the kitchen to get your food when ready. There's always a blind spot in the kitchen, and we are licking our fingers and touching your food. If it happens to be a Texas Roadhouse or Logan's, those rolls are full of our white saliva. Some of the cooks are in on it too. Think they are playing? They aren't. Believe me, this has been going on since y'all started this nonsense with Carmelo, the Candy Boy Anthony crap. By the way, the group has over 400,000 members. Enjoy y'all's food. Ooh-wee, man. Ooh-wee. So here's what the white guy had to say.
400,000 nasty racist motherfuckers in a social media group talking about spitting in black folks' food. The cooks, the servers, the bussers, and they're all talking about this shit in these groups like they've been doing it for years. That shit's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And I think it's time that black and brown people stood the fuck up and stopped giving their dollar back to these motherfuckers. Support black-owned and brown-owned businesses. Stop this motherfucking bullshit right now. This is how you stop it. And to all my brothers and sisters, if you see me dining in your fine establishment, do not treat me like them. I am not them. Do not spit in my motherfucking cornbread. Do not motherfucking put no extra seasoning on my pork chop. You hear me? Don't do that shit to me now. Fuck racism, end racism. We tired of this shit, man. We tired of this shit. The world needs to change.
I ain't got no problem with that, but I do have to call a strike and a ball a ball. Was he upset at the racist, uncivilized mutts spitting in black people's food, or was he upset that they were spitting in black people's food and this may trigger a response of black people spitting in his food? I'll lean on the side of both, right? Real talk. Man. Where does these uncivilized mutts come from? They're mammies and pappies. That's where they come from. Damn, man. Can't shake them, man. You cannot shake them. This story went viral because the allegations is absolutely disgusting. I mean, disgusting. But there's another part of this story we got to talk about. Now, the young man's anger is understandable if he's reacting to the allegation. Nobody should be secretly contaminating another person's food, especially because of their race. But outrage isn't evidence. This viral post don't automatically establish that the alleged racist restaurant group existed or that anybody actually spit in black customers' food. Now, having said that, getting that on out of the way, that's a kind of disclaimer or whatever. That's about the most I'm going to give you. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. If you just think about all of the racists that are in this country, the racist incidents that we see on a daily basis in this country, from people who work in all different sectors of society. It wouldn't be hard to imagine, right? You got police officers who do some of the worst things. They kill people based on race. You got doctors who allow people to die, nurses who intentionally practice neglect. You got people who work at restaurants every day who just straight up blatantly discriminate. So if they're doing all of that, it ain't a stretch to think that they would be also spitting in people's food. Now, it's worth noting that the restaurant, Texas Roadhouse, says an investigation found no credible evidence supporting the food tampering claims. Well, they damn near have to say that. Keep in mind that investigation happened pretty quickly because I believe this story came out maybe, what was it, just a couple days ago. Maybe, I think this story came out like Sunday or something. Maybe Sunday, Saturday, one of those days. So I don't know. I'm not sure if they could complete an investigation that fast, right? But again, I would not be surprised if something like this actually went down. What I would be interested in is what those stocks look like. So I took a peek, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it might be. That's the numbers right there, fam. Texas Roadhouse Inc. So let's see. So this is a 5-day. It's a 5-day report. So we got on. Let's see what date is that. August 19th. They were at 207. Then they dropped down on August 19th to 20. With August 20th to 202. Then it dropped a little further to 200 on the 20th. Rebound slightly, dropped again a little bit on the 21st, Friday. And then right here, it actually went up to 206 on August 24th. That's yesterday, right? And now you're starting to see a decline. And this, I suspect, will continue to happen. Now, what happens sometimes when these companies experience bad news, you'll see an immediate spike. People will kind of go against what one might call conventional wisdom and say, let me get in right quick. Let me try to get in before it go down, right? Instead of buying the dip. The idea should be, let me watch it go down first before I buy it. Now, I suspect that this story is just now starting to get real legs, right? The legs are pretty strong. I do believe that the stock is going to continue to go down for a while. If I'm to take a wild guess for something this bad, I would say that those stocks might get all the way down to about, it could go under 100. It could go under 100. And if it does, then, I'm a little indifferent, fam. I'm just a little indifferent to it because we don't know if they did. We don't know if this person is just trolling or if they're actually speaking the gospel. Obviously, if they're trolling, then this company would be taking an unnecessary hit, an unfair hit. But if they're speaking the gospel, if this message is authentic, then you have to look at the fact that they should be punished. And I'm not just talking about a few points off the stock market. I'm talking about destruction, total dismantlement. I'm talking about running them all the way out of business. That's the way I see it, because these companies have to be taught a lesson. They should be taught a lesson It is your duty to hire civilized people to work for you. It's on you to pay people a livable wage to do the job that you would employ them to do. Being or working for minimum wage or working for tips should not be an excuse for uncivilized mutt behavior. I worked in fast food. I never once thought about spitting on people's food. Not one time. Never. I never thought once about playing with people's food. Not once. I never dropped anything on the floor and picked it back up. Not once. Not once did I do something like that. But you got a lot of people in this industry, in the restaurant industry, that will do stuff like that. Hell, just the other day we saw a video go viral of some clown, some fool, some uncivilized mutt farting on Popeye's chicken. We've seen people spit on pizza and all kinds. It is some nasty, disgusting people out there. So when something like this happened, and if it turns out to be true, they need to be ran all the way out of business. I mean, all the way out of business. These companies should do a better job at patrolling their establishments. They should do a better job at making sure that those kitchens have full transparency. I think that they should, in those kitchens, I think that they should have monitors. You should be able to see people preparing your food. They should have open kitchens, and even if a kitchen is open, people can still do slick and dirty stuff. But when the kitchen is open, they're less likely to do stuff like that, right? I think it mitigates that type of disgusting behavior greatly. But imagine if they had monitors in those kitchens and you could actually see people in the kitchen preparing the food at all times. I think they got to have something like that, just because these type of situations are getting worse by the moment. They're getting worse and worse and worse. So something needs to be done to protect the public. These companies, when stuff like this come out, they should be ran all the way out of business. And they should be ran out of business to teach the other companies a lesson. If you want to maintain your company, if you don't want your company to shut down, you make sure that you hire some civilized people. And when those civilized people turn out to be uncivilized at any point, the punishment should be so severe that it sends out a resounding message to any would-be uncivilized mutts. They got to be punished. Passing their nasty ass saliva on to somebody else that's contaminating people's food, people could die like that. That is nasty beyond nasty. Their asses need to be put in jail, and I ain't talking about a regular jail. They need to be put away. It should be actually treated like attempted murder. That's right, I said it. It should be treated like attempted murder. And it should be a felony. Yes, absolutely. It should be a felony. I'll say this before I let you go. There's something extremely powerful about people condemning racism when they aren't personally targeted. Fighting racism should not be racial discrimination. I'll say this before I let you go. There's something extremely powerful about people who speak out against racism when they aren't the ones being personally targeted. Fighting racial discrimination should not require being black. No more talk.